everybody and welcome to today's video. I don't know what that hand was. Hello everybody. I don't know. So I thought I would sit down and film kind of an exciting video. I just wanted to do a little festival inspired makeup look because tomorrow morning your girl is leaving for Chicago to go to Lollapalooza. And I am so excited. I went last year and it was a blast, and this year I'm going with a bunch of friends and it's gonna be so much fun. But I just thought I'd film this video because festivals and like Lollapalooza and like all that jam, just a perfect excuse to film some crazy fun makeup looks that you might not wear every other day, which certainly I wouldn't. Yeah, I just thought I'd sit down and film this little makeup look that I have going on that I just thought of that would be fun and a little bit more out there. So if you want to see how I did this eyeshadow look, then just keep on watching. Alright, so to begin, I'm going to go ahead and take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and carve out the underneath of my eyebrows, which are already filled in and ready to go. Whenever I'm doing a super intense eyeshadow look, I like to start with my eyes. That way if I get any fallout, it won't really fall down on my foundation too much. And putting this concealer on your eyelids really just cancels out any redness or discoloration and allows the colors that you're about to put on top to really pop out and be more noticeable. And then I'm just going to set that with my RCMA No Color Powder. That way when I go in with my transition colors and the colors that I'm using today, it won't stick to the wetness of the concealer and it'll blend in really nicely. You guessed it, I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette today yet again. So to begin, I'm going to take these two shades, which are Silk Cream and Made for Each Other, and use them as my transition shades for the day. I'm just going to sweep this into my crease area and start blending out. And I'm really making sure to blow out that outer corner and really taking the shades all the way to the inner corner, because for today's look, I'm going to do a little bit of a halo eye. And for those of you that don't really know what I mean by halo eye, just keep watching and you'll see what I mean. It basically means that I'm placing a lot of pigment on my inner corner and the outer corner and then placing a different shade in the middle of my eyelid. So I'm just making sure to blend this really high and really wide and get this color everywhere. Now I'm going to go in with some concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I just wanted to put this underneath my eyes because I realized how much I really am going to blow out this eyeshadow look, and I want to make sure my skin all around is ready to go, just so I don't need to go back and be really careful later on. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Creamsicle, which is a really warm orangey color, just to warm up the whole look a little bit. I want my top lid to be incredibly warm and blown out because on the bottom lash line I am going to do blue. So to counterbalance it, I want to make sure the top is nice and warm so the blue doesn't look too odd by itself. Now I'm going to go in with the shades Pukey and Roxanne on a Morphe 433 brush. This one is a little bit flatter and denser, and this is the one that I use to really carve out my crease shape and get it the way I want it to. So I'm really hitting that inner corner and dragging it along my upper crease and focusing even more on the outer corner. So once I have the pigment where I want it, I turn my brush to the side and fluff everything out to make sure there's no harsh lines and everything is blended. And you'll see in the next few steps, I'm really placing a lot of product on the outer corner, in the crease, and the inner corner. But I'm trying to leave the eyelid space blank because there's going to be some different shades that are going to go there a little bit later. So I want to try to leave that spot open. Okay, so now I'm taking this really weird and flat brush that came in the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collection that I got. And I got this trick from her and I really like it. You take RCMA No Color Powder or any translucent powder and put it in this sharp angle on the outside of your eye. And then you're allowed to blend over it, but the colors won't go out there. So when you wipe away the powder, you're left with a really sharp and clean line, and it looks almost like you're wearing like a wing. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Buns on this Morphe 411 brush. It's a lot smaller and comes to a little point, so you can really get into exactly where you want to go and carve everything out. And this is the darkest shade that I'm going to go in with. And so as you can tell, I've started with the lightest going up to the darkest colors and starting with really blowing the lighter colors out and putting that everywhere. And then as I get darker, keeping it more condensed, a little bit lower and more precise. That way you get a really blown out and gradient look with your eye. And I know this seems like I'm using a lot of colors, but that is the way that I achieve a really blown out smoky eye, is by using a lot of colors because it just looks more blown out and has a lot more dimension to it. And once I'm satisfied with the pigment, I just took a clean blending brush to blend things out and making sure there's no harsh lines. So on this eye, I'm doing the same process. I just wanted to show you that I really pack on that pigment on the outer corner and the inner corners just to make it really dark, still avoiding the center of my eyelid, but I'm connecting them in my crease above. Once again, going out and blending it out evenly. I'm just going to apply a little bit more of that translucent powder just because I blended some of it away. But as you can see, even if you blend over the powder, you still get this really awesome sharp line. Like, look at that, it's just so clean cut, and I was being really messy, but it's still nice and perfect. Alright, so now for the fun part. I'm going to go in with the shades Queen and Meeks, and this is what is going to go on the center of my eyelid. Initially, I'm just going in and kind of placing it where I think I want it, and then I'm going back in with the Morphe M411 brush with no additional product, but I'm just going to buff over the lines where they meet to make sure the transition is seamless. And then I'm going back in with those two shimmery shades, spraying it with a little bit of Fix Plus just to really intensify it and make it more shimmery and stand out a little bit more. Then I decided I want the center of my lid to be a little bit more bright, so I'm taking the shade Beam and adding that to the very center of my eyelid, which I'm really happy I did because I thought it just made it stand out that much more and really complete the halo eye. Alright, so now for the lower lash line, I'm taking the shades Creamsicle and Made for Each Other, basically any transition colors that you used above, and taking that on an E18 brush and running it from my inner corner to the outer corner and really making sure to connect that lower lash line to that outer edge that we have going right out there. Now for the fun part, I'm going to take the shade Jada on a little bit of a smaller pencil brush. This is the E36 brush, and I'm running this on my lower lash line as well from inner corner to outer corner. And I'm not sure where the footage went, but I went ahead and wiped away that translucent powder that was on the outside of our eyes, and it left that really sharp and clean line. And so I'm also taking Jada and connecting it to that part. Now I'm going in the shade Pool Party with that same flat Too Faced brush that I used before. And now I'm going to place this on the lower lash line just to brighten it up and add a little bit of shimmer and reflex on the bottom. This part made me a little nervous and I wasn't in love with it right away because I thought it looked a little scary, but I'm glad I followed through with it because it looked really good at the end. Now I'm just taking that E18 brush again and blending everything together and making sure it's smooth and even. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight my inner corner and my brow bone, which is key for a really drastic look. I just think it helps really awaken the eyes and open them back up, and I'm using the shade in Light to do so. This is a really random brush that I got in my Ipsy Glam bag, but any brush will do. Now I'm taking a little bit of this Urban Decay Moon Dust, which is basically just like a liquid glitter, and I'm putting a little bit on the inner corners and that inner part of my lower lash line just to really brighten it up and make it shimmery. This part isn't super necessary whatsoever. I just had this sitting there and I thought I would add a little bit of it to the look. So now I'm taking this super random pencil that I got from Revlon a couple years ago. It's not the greatest, but I really wanted to brighten up that lower lash line, and it paired really well with Pool Party and Jada. So I just put that on my lower waterline, and I thought I did a really good job just to brighten up that lower line because it was looking a little dark for me. Now I'm just going to take some makeup wipes and wipe off the concealer and any fallout that I might have. This will just give me a fresh start before I start my face makeup. And also this will allow me to really reassure that crisp line that we have on the outside and make it even more sharp. The eyeshadow is looking a little crazy for me right now and I was having some second guesses, but once I did my face makeup, I really liked the way it turned out. First I'm going in with my Angel Veil from NYX primer and rubbing that in my face. And then this foundation, you guys, is seriously amazing. I forgot how good it is. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. And I use the shade 103 and mix in a little bit of 102 with it. But I forgot how matte it is. Like, it makes your skin look so good. So I thought this was perfect for a festival look just because it keeps my skin really matte and looking good all day. It's sweat proof. I just think it looks amazing. Now I'm just taking a tiny bit of my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium Honey, and I'm seriously adding the smallest amount just to help balance out my face a little bit, but I'm not going to put too much on because I don't want to wear a lot of products on my face when I'm going to be super hot and out in the sun all day. So I'm going to try to keep the products on my face a little minimal. And now I'm going to go ahead and just set that a tiny bit with my RCMA powder. This foundation and this concealer pretty much sets itself, but I just wanted to do a little bit just to make sure it's locked into place and ready to go because it's going to be hot outside and I want to make sure my makeup lasts. Now I'm going to go in with my Benefit Hoola Bronzer. You know the drill. I'm just going to warm up my cheeks and my forehead a little bit, bring some life and color to my face, just to add more dimension and warm up the skin a little bit. Today I'm actually going to do a nice light contour, and I'm going to use this Wet n Wild highlighting and contour palette. I actually love this stuff. Like, this contour shade is crazy good. It's super pigmented. So I'm just taking a little bit of that on the side of my Morphe E47 brush and just carving out my cheekbones a little bit and giving my face a little bit more structure. I like to do this when I have a super intense eyeshadow look because then the whole face kind of ties together. And for blush, I'm taking this little e.l.f. palette that I have. It was super cheap. I just got it from Target, and I'm going with the orangey shade in the top right. And I'm taking that on my Morphe M530 and just kind of swirling that around on my cheeks, bringing some more color to my face. So now for the most important part of any look, in my opinion, it's the highlighter. And I think for festivals, it's so fun just to have a banging highlighter, nice and glowy and making your skin look fresh. And I'm going in with the MAC Double Gleam and using my Morphe 510 brush, which is the brush I always use for my highlight. Guys, so this is the finished look right here. I dig it. I wasn't convinced right away. I was not digging the lower lash line. I was like, I look like a scary person. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit more. My skin is drier than hell, but that's fine. Also, the last day of Lala is my 21st birthday. Whoop, whoop. I'm literally so excited. It's gonna be so much fun to be at Lala with all my friends on my birthday in Chicago. And I'm finally 21. I'm so young for my grade. It is horrible. All of my friends have been 21 for so long, and me and my roommate Morgan have the same birthday, and we're hanging in there together. Also, I borrowed this shirt from my other roommate Morgan. You the real MVP. Thank you so much. Hey you guys, that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can come back and hang out with me some more if you would like. Also, comment below if you have any ideas for any future videos that you'd like to see or any makeup looks, because I'll take requests. I don't really know, I just kind of mess around, so feel free to do that. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys very shortly. Enjoy the rest of your week and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.